Hey beautiful! Today, you and Queen Zani are going to talk about the version 3.2 special broadcast and everything we can expect from this update. And don't forget about the Lunite giveaway. Just like the video and drop a comment to enter. All right, let's start with the version 3.2 special broadcast. The 3.2 livestream is scheduled for March 13th, 2026, where the developers will officially showcase the upcoming content, characters, and events. As usual, we'll also be getting redeem codes worth 300 Astrite, so you definitely don't want to miss it. And if you can't catch the stream live, don't worry, I've got you covered. I'll post all the redeem codes in the community tab as soon as they're available, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. As for the actual version 3.2 update, it's expected to go live on March 19th, 2026, so we're really not that far away from it now. Now, moving on to something everyone cares about, the version 3.2 banners. In Phase 1, we're expecting Sigrika and Qiyuan banners, with Sanhua, Buling, and Yang Yang appearing as the featured 4-star characters. Then in Phase 2, things get pretty interesting, because we're expecting a triple banner featuring Rune, Zani, and Phoebe, along with Tauki, Yuhu, and Danjin as the featured 4-stars. Honestly, thank God I already have all the characters except Linnea. What about you guys? Who are you planning to pull for in version 3.2? All right, with the banners out of the way, let's talk a little more about Sigrika. Sigrika's kit sounds complicated because it has many names, but the idea behind it is actually simple. She is a character who builds runes while attacking and then spends them with a heavy attack to create different effects. When you start fighting, you mostly use her normal attack combo, which can go up to 5 hits. The important part is the 5th hit, because it gives her a rune called Trust, and it counts as Echo skill damage. Echo damage is important because many of her buffs increase echo damage. Her resonance skill is called Boomy Boom, which is just a quick arrow attack. If you use it after certain parts of her combo, it upgrades into Big Boomy Boom, which is a stronger version, and also gives her another rune called Answer. There's also another skill variation called Solaskin to the Rescue that appears when she has enough energy from a resource called Full Stop. That one also gives her an Answer rune. So during combat, she is constantly collecting 2 types of runes, Trust from her basic attacks and Answer from her skills. Once she has runes, she can hold the attack button to use a special heavy attack called Cradle of the Runes. This consumes 2 runes and turns into different abilities depending on the rune combination. If she spends Trust plus Answer, it creates an explosion attack. If she spends 2 Trust runes, it pulls enemies together like a whip. If she spends 2 Answer runes, it freezes or stops enemies in place for a moment. So the heavy attack changes depending on what runes you built before using it. Her ultimate, Resonance Liberation, does a big burst of arrow damage and gives her a buff called Unwind. This buff makes her next major move, her 5th normal attack or her big skill, also create another effect at the same time. In simple terms, it makes her next attack stronger and more valuable. She also has a passive system where when teammates use Echo skills, Sigrika gains energy and buffs. At the same time, she also gives the team arrow damage and Echo skill damage bonuses, which means she works very well in teams that frequently use Echo abilities. So if you look at her gameplay in a simple way, it works like this. You attack normally to build Trust runes, you use your skill to get Answer runes, and then you use a heavy attack to spend those runes for special effects like explosions, pulling enemies, or stopping them. After that, you use her ultimate to boost your next attacks and repeat the cycle. Basically, Sigrika is designed to build resources with combos, convert them into powerful rune attacks, and deal a lot of Echo-type arrow damage while buffing the team. All right, so that's Sigrika in a nutshell. Tired of paying full prices? Why don't you use LD Shop? They offers huge discounts up to 30% off on Wuthering Waves and almost everything you can buy in your favorite gacha games. And they also support self-top-up, which means it's easy and safe to do it by yourself. It's also very safe and trusted. They've got excellent reviews on Trustpilot. And here's the best part. New users get a 15% discount plus an extra 5% off when you use my special link. So don't miss out. Click the link in the description and start saving with LD Shop today. Now let's move on to the new story content and map updates. In version 3.2, we're getting a new story quest, and it'll be released in 2 parts, the first part arriving in Phase 1 and the second continuing in Phase 2. Now, for the slightly disappointing news, there won't be a new map in version 3.2. So if you were hoping for a brand new area to explore, this update is more focused on story and combat content instead. That said, we are getting some exciting additions. A new Calamity-class weekly boss called Voidworm is being introduced, and there will also be a new tactical hologram challenge featuring Hyvadia. All right, with that covered, let's take a look at the events coming in version 3.2. So first is the Sail to the Beat rhythm event in Wuthering Waves. This one puts you in an arcade where you control a spaceship flying forward in space. It's basically a rhythm game, but presented like a runner, where you move along tracks and hit beats. You can pick companion characters, and they give score buffs, like turning great judgments into perfect, extending fever mode, or increasing score multipliers. Each song has multiple difficulties, and your performance is graded from B up to SSS. During version 3.2, this event gives around 800 Astrites, and after the patch, it becomes permanent and gives another 200 Astrites if you complete it later. Then there's Riders of the Wild, which is the main combat event of the patch. In this one, you explore different exam rooms in Lahai Roi. You fight enemies, open chests, and repair mechs scattered around the area. You bring 3 resonators, and once the run starts, you can't swap them. The event also allows trial characters, so even players without strong builds can participate. This event gives about 600 Astrites, plus materials and Star Voice. The Lahai Roi Blocks event is basically a Tetris-style puzzle game inside the game world. Completing its stages gives around 400 Astrites. Next is the Rallo Cube event, which happens in the Deep Dive game room. It's another small puzzle or reaction minigame, meant to be played daily for rewards. Then there's Speed Up Fuel Instrumentality Project, which is listed in the reward summary as the Meal Energy Center event. It looks like a smaller side activity where you complete certain tasks or mini objectives to gain points. Finishing it gives about 400 Astrites. Finally, there's the Fei Shui Preheat event, which is basically a warm-up event for the anniversary celebration. It's smaller and mostly exists to give extra rewards before the anniversary patch fully starts. Completing it gives about 280 Astrites. If you add everything together, the events in version 3.2 give roughly 2480 Astrites total. Keep in mind that this is not final. Rewards may increase or decrease before release. Now let's talk about QOL updates. First up, let's talk about a new quest type that supports co-op. Up until now, co-op in Wuthering Waves has been a bit underused. You can play with friends, but most of the game isn't really built around that. This new quest type suggests the developers are starting to design content that expects multiple players to play together. That could mean missions where you and friends fight bosses together and much more. It's still unclear exactly how it will work. Then there are some smaller, fun additions. One of them is slot machines, which sounds like some kind of casino-style mini activity inside the game world. Alongside that, there's also going to be a rhythm game with 13 music tracks. Now, the really big part of the update is something called Matrix of Finality, which seems to be the full version of a doubled pawns matrix the game has been testing earlier. Think of Matrix of Finality as a seasonal endgame challenge mode. Instead of lasting just a few weeks like some events, it lasts longer, than about 42 days, meaning players have a big chunk of time to progress through it. Interestingly, it doesn't have rankings, so it's not about competing against other players. Instead, the focus is just on clearing the challenges and earning rewards.
The top reward for this season is apparently a motorcycle skin, which is a pretty cool cosmetic prize. Inside this mode, you'll basically be fighting a lineup of bosses. Names like Thundering Mephis, Impermanence Heron, and others show up as enemies in the challenge. The difficulty ramps up over time. The first round starts with enemies around level 100, then later rounds increase to 110 and even 120. So this is definitely aimed at players with strong characters and optimized builds. To make things more interesting, the mode also includes special buffs or modifiers that change how combat works. For example, some buffs increase overall damage or boost heavy attacks. Others make certain elements stronger, like spectro damage becoming much more effective. This means each season might encourage different playstyles. One season might favor spectro characters, another might favor aero damage or echo skills. So instead of always using the exact same team, players might experiment with different characters depending on the seasonal buffs. Another nice improvement coming with this mode is a new UI. When you finish a run, the game will show character summoning style animations during the results screen, similar to the tower mode. Even the loading screen will show the team you selected for the challenge. These changes don't affect gameplay much, but they make the mode feel more polished and satisfying visually. There's also a graphical improvement being added called rendering distance. This setting controls how far away objects and scenery are visible. Normally, games limit this distance to save performance, especially on mobile. With the new option, players can choose a far setting that allows the game to render objects much farther away. On powerful phones with modern processors, the estimated distance is around 220 meters, which means you'll be able to see much more of the environment without things popping into view suddenly. Now answer my question. What device do you guys use to play Wuthering Waves?
Okay, now one of the most important changes in the update is the Echo Management overhaul. If you've played Wuthering Waves for a while, you probably know that echo farming can get messy. You collect tons of echoes, then you have to manually check every single one to see if it has good stats. That takes time and can get frustrating. The new system introduces something called an Echo Management Plan. Think of it like telling the game your preferences. For example, you can say you want echoes that prioritize crit rate, crit damage, attack, or certain elemental bonuses. Once the plan is active, the game will automatically sort new echoes based on those preferences. Good ones might get locked automatically, while useless ones can be marked for discard. It basically turns a lot of manual sorting into automatic filtering. Another cool thing about this system is that players can share their echo plans with each other. When someone creates a good preset for a character build, they can generate a code that contains all those settings. Other players can paste that code into their game and instantly get the same setup. It's kind of like copying someone's build guide directly into the game itself instead of trying to follow it manually. And finally, there's a feature aimed at saving storage space. The game will soon allow you to clean up old story resources, especially video files from past quests. If you've already finished certain story content, those video files aren't really needed anymore. The system can delete them and free up to about 10 gigabytes of storage, which is huge for mobile players. You'll even be able to manage these resources by region or enable automatic cleanup when you log in.
So when you step back and look at the whole update, the main theme of version 3.2 is improving the game's systems rather than just adding flashy new content. So that's all I have for today. If you watched till the end, you're a legend.
Happy graduation.